This is Fred Beck from Fred Fighting, proudly sponsored by Empire Fight Store. Today, I'm very lucky to joined by Jack Catterall. So, how have you been then, Jack? What have you been up to then, mate?
Not a lot. Just got back from the gym. 8 weeks on Saturday. Big fight. So just locked in, really ready for that. Enjoyed Christmas with family. Had the day off the gym, but apart from that, it's all systems go.
Was it at all frustrating the fight getting announced after Christmas? Because then you kind of enjoy Christmas more, relax a bit more, and eat what you want to eat.
So the fight was originally scheduled for December the 18th. So we was locked in for that, and then on Josh's side there was a postponement. So it just meant the plans to training camp changed a little bit, but I guess it'd have been nice to enjoy Christmas a little bit more, but it is what it is. It's a huge opportunity for me, a big fight. So it's I've got to stay focused for it.
You couldn't really ask for a bigger fight. So, how do you kind of approach a boxer like Josh? It's so complete.
There's a few different ways. I've sat down with Jamie, Nigel, and asked Sam many a times. I've been to quite a few of Josh's fights. I've seen him fight, but I think sometimes fighters get too engaged in what their opponent does, and it distracts them from what they're good at. And I believe I'm also a complete fighter, and I've got the tools and the artillery to beat Josh. Like I said, he's gone on to achieve great things, but for me, it's about just being mentally, physically prepared to go in there and adjust to anything that happens on the fight night.
And I've seen a lot of things online on Twitter saying, "Oh, you're kind of going to Josh backyard, obviously in Edinburgh Castle." But you've been to people's backyards before, obviously, kind of O'Hara Davis, Troy McKenna. Do you think it's better that you're going to his backyard rather than he's coming to yours?
Yeah, Josh has earned the right to have his homecoming fight, so to speak, back in Scotland. As you mentioned, I've been away, probably not on this magnitude, but I felt like the away fighter in probably 5 or 6 fights. So it probably suits me better. I'm going up there, I'm the underdog. The pressure's on Josh. It's his first fight in the UK in a few years, and everyone's expecting big things. I'm going to go up there and upset the party.
I'm looking forward to it. And just one more thing on the fight. Do you see any weaknesses in Josh at all?
Yeah, of course. We've studied Josh for hours and hours. We've watched footage. We've seen different things, and there's certainly things that I've seen and Jamie that we can exploit in the fight. I'm not going to go into it in too much detail, but there's certainly things that are going to benefit me, and there's stuff I can take away that Josh does.
And that's a good point. When you're a fighter, how much footage of them do you watch, or does it kind of depend on the caliber of fighter?
Yeah, it's difficult to say. Obviously, for this fight, there's been a lot of time waiting for this fight. So, and I've been to Josh's fights. He's one of the boys in the division that I've watched for the last couple of years. So you kind of get a feel. But I think, like I just said previous, it's a fine line between getting wrapped up in what your opponent's doing, what they do, what they don't do, opposed to your strengths and abilities. So it's finding the right balance of seeing enough of what Josh does, how he goes about some fights, how he starts, how he is late rounds, the kind of stuff that he's done in previous fights leading up to these last fight, and it's combining all that together along with stuff that your strengths are, and finding the perfect balance.
Oh, okay. That kind of makes sense. And how much does it help kind of being a gym of winners? Obviously, you've got Chantal Cameron, Aki Diaz, obviously Nigel Travis, and you've got Jamie Moore. But you've got other fighters, haven't you?
Yeah, so there's quite a few fighters. We've got Lerone Harris, 2-0, Sean McGoldrick, Mark Leach, Stevie Ward, Rocky Fielding. So there's still a crop of very good fighters in our gym. And it's brilliant for me. We get in-house sparring, maybe not for this fight, but everybody's hungry. Chantal's waiting to unify, go for the undisputed at her weight category. And everybody just seems to be pushing each other. There's a real good vibe in the gym. So I fit in nicely, and I'm excited to push on this year.
Yeah, it's quite nice to have a load of teammates, especially winning. And I've got to ask, you were out in Dubai last month in November. How was that? Because everyone I talked to now, I know I spoke to your former opponent, O'Hara Davis, last month as well. He was out in Dubai. John O'Carroll says he's going to move there. Ashley Fairpain was just out there. Mir Abdullah was just out there. What's it like in Dubai? Because it seems like the boxing kind of moving there at the moment.
Yeah, it's big. The D4G that put on the promotion when I was there, when O'Hara Davis and Rocky Fielding and Badu Jack fought, it was a brilliant show. Pro Bellum had the first show at the Coca-Cola Arena, and it seems to be growing every month, every year. It seems to be getting more interest. So hopefully one day I get to box out there again. But it just seems to be getting bigger and bigger all the time.
Do you do anything out on a bike, like go sandboarding, quad biking, jet skis, anything like that?
Not this time. So the last time I was there in 2019 when I boxed, me and the missus stayed over and had a couple of days to enjoy the sights and the activities. But the last trip we went on was a bit of a different one. We had a new addition to the family, little baby, so the activities changed and we was around the pool more, swimming, but it was nice nonetheless.
I guess it's become more tame now. And what's it like having a baby? Does that motivate you a lot more?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this last year has been difficult for everybody with postponements and COVID and the fights just not being there, I guess. But it's kept me focused. I've been in the gym, I've been training, and it's added that extra motivation to go on and achieve great things.
Yeah, sure. But Jack, I'm sure we'll catch up soon, mate. Thanks so much for your time. I spoke to Jamie, I think last month or the month before that. He's a really nice guy. But where can people find you on social media at Instagram, Twitter, all those types of things?
Jack Catterall, social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Follow on them, and I'm locked in now. 8 weeks to go, ready for the big fight up in Scotland.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm sure we'll catch up soon after the fight. Jack, thanks for the time, mate.
Thank you for having me on. God bless.